Food is an 8-week psychology group aimed to support people living with obesity overcome emotional and psychological barriers to weight loss, such as emotional eating and yo-yo dieting. It is not a weight loss group. Topics include why losing weight is difficult, why diets do not work, and how to manage difficult feelings associated with eating and weight. Week by week, participants are encouraged to think about their relationship with food and create their own personal toolkit of coping skills that are not food related. A pilot of 31 people who attended previously in person reported improvement in emotional eating, anxiety and depression, and unexpectedly 37% reported weight loss. When COVID hit, we were keen to adapt our service and delivered it online, as were many services. For our weight management patients in particular, we needed to increase people's access to support, as many were shielding due to the increased risk of developing severe complications or dying from COVID. Weight stigma had also been reportedly increased. People living with obesity already report weight stigma, but this experience was made worse because of the publicised link between obesity and COVID, and also social isolation had increased. We already had a group waiting list, and we were keen to know whether online delivery of the group would be as good as it was in person. And there was a need to to cope with the increased demand due to changes in our referral pathway opening up. We secured admin support to book sessions via Microsoft Teams, sending out handouts and invites, support from a dietetic assistant practitioner to deliver the groups, monitor the chat function and record attendance. We also set up meetings with 2 patient representatives before the group, halfway through and post-group. The initial meetings were set around adapting the materials for online delivery, and they were invited to make comments about the process and accessing the group via a Microsoft Teams platform. We all agreed the group sessions would be a maximum of 1 hour and 15 minutes, based on our experiences as well as recommendations from Tech Cymru. We then contacted 46 people who were already on the group waiting list. 11 couldn't be reached, 8 were deferred to the next round of groups, and 9 were discharged as they no longer wanted input. 18 people were allocated to 2 groups over 2 consecutive days, and questionnaires were sent out for them to complete pre-group. And these were the outcome measures that we used. Measure of anxiety and depression, self-efficacy in relation to eating, that is, the ability to resist food and eating across a range of situations, a measure of eating behaviour, self-esteem and psychological distress. And this is what we found. 80% of the participants reported a reduction in emotional eating, 80% reported a reduction in symptoms of depression, 73% in symptoms of anxiety, whereas 67% reported an improvement in self-esteem and 87% reported an improvement in self-efficacy related to eating. When we looked at the costs of delivering the group online, this came to just under £500, whereas in person we calculated running groups in geographically clustered areas, depending on where people live, would have gone up to about £4,500. One-to-one clinics, again geographically clustered across the health board, that would have increased to £11,000. And this included cash savings of travel expenses of around £4,000 plus travel time in salary. There was also more time freed up to support more people as the demand for the service was increasing. And this is some feedback from some of the participants. I feel like I have the skills I need to make changes for life, better relationship with food, learning new ways of coping instead of eating, feeling more positive about the way I look, being more active and feeling better for it. And in terms of weight loss at 8 weeks, 72% of participants reported an average weight loss of just over 2 kilos, ranging from 0 to 12.7 kilos, whereas at 1 month follow-up, this increased to 83%, where the average weight loss increased to 3.67 kilos, ranging from 0 to 14.5 kilos. Nobody gained weight over the course of the programme. In terms of attendance rate, Compared to in-person, where attendance is higher than average anyway at 77%, this increased to 94% when the groups were delivered online. And now Karen would like to share her experience of Mind Over Food with you all.
Hey everyone, my name is Karen. I'm a Carmarthenshire resident who recently completed the Mind Over Food group. It was a really positive experience and one I would highly recommend others to try. As a 47-year-old female who has struggled with weight issues for most of her adult life, I was a bit sceptical about the likely impact of the group. I thought there's not really much more I can learn at this age, and had kind of resigned myself to being large, if I'm honest. But then, having reflected and thought about it, I thought, well, I can't really complain if I don't give something a go. And I'm so glad that I did. I know some people have some preconceived ideas about doing groups, but like I say, this isn't a weight loss group. It was an environment where I was very much given respect, support, encouragement, understanding, as well as useful tools and tips. And whilst you're encouraged to employ those and to make small changes until they could have a huge impact, which seems a little implausible, I'm pleased to report that by the end of the group I'd actually lost a stone in weight, and that's a first for me, a first where I didn't have to diet or deprive myself. Instead, I feel like I have a healthier relationship with food and learned skills that will benefit me not just now but in my future journey as well. So give it a go. You have nothing to lose apart from potentially weight, but there's no pressure there, and I wish you all the best in your journey too.
And as you can see, Karen's experience, she was sceptical to start with, but she decided to give it a go, and then she was pleasantly surprised and found that she went on to lose weight, but also change her mindset and relationship with food. So now that Mind Over Food is boxed up and ready to go to be adopted by other psychologists working in weight management services across Wales, what's included in the box, if you like, is the how-to toolkit for implementing the group, Tech Cymru's step-by-step clinician's guide for running virtual groups, presentations with scripts to guide each session week by week, handouts and audio files for participants, and links to the outcome measures that we used pre and post group. And what's not included inside the box, so what you would need in addition to what's provided, a minimum of a band 5 assistant psychologist, a co-facilitator to monitor the chat function and support online delivery of the groups, admin support, Microsoft Teams platform with equipment, so a laptop or PC with audio and visual capability, internet connection for both participants and facilitators, and a private confidential space to deliver the groups. So what next for us? So we would like to make the groups more accessible to people living with obesity, but we are also conscious that people below a BMI of 30 also struggle with similar issues. So yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, and their weight. And before reaching the threshold for weight management services, we would like to see this being accessible to more people. I'm planning to provide training to others to deliver locally and also to run more groups online. And just to finish off, my experience, innovation and working in the NHS can feel a little bit like bog snorkeling. You're at the starting line, you're ready to go, you have the tools and the intention, but you soon get bogged down with the red tape and various barriers. But with Bevan on board, overall it's been a more calm experience, but at times a bit challenging. And I think that's because of the fast track nature, trying to fit in this alongside being busy clinically. But I would just like to say thank you very much for the opportunity. It's been a really valuable and supportive, positive experience, and the networking has been great. So thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr. And that's the end.